just came from the Natural Resources Board meeting, and one of the things I asked them was to use their authority to create a policy framework to prevent another Herr Environmental case from happening. In this instance, many of you may know, the trained staff of the DNR did a thorough investigation of the overspreading of human waste, and they recommended that this case go to the Department of Justice for prosecution. One of the conditions the staff had was that Herr Environmental would pay for testing and any subsequent remediation of the family's wells that live in the area. The DNR doesn't have the authority on its own to order someone to pay. So the recommendations of the staff were sidelined by political appointees. And we just can't have that. So I did just ask the DNR board to use, they do have the legal authority as policy-making body over the DNR to create a policy framework that will insulate the science-based decision-making under the law in the agency that we all need to rely on. In our organization, we get calls from all over the state from people with environmental problems. The DNR used to be a partner to communities. It's really sad to see when I'm out in the field working with people that DNR staff who used to be part of the community are afraid to talk to people. They're worried about their jobs. They're in some pretty narrow boundaries. So what we're seeing is the burden of enforcing the law and monitoring dangerous pollution has been shifted to the citizens of this state. That's not fair and it's not safe. There's good men and women in the DNR who have the skills and the training to keep us safe and run these permitting programs. Permits are a legal contract that allow the discharge of contaminated water, contaminated air into our environmental commons. We have an economy that we need to keep going, so this is the system we use. So very technical information is used to decide the safe limits of discharge of these different kinds of pollution into our environment. So I'm very concerned, as are citizens around the state, that that system has broken down. There is no room for any politics, red, blue, green, anything, in between families of this state and their drinking water and the air they breathe. We desperately need an independent, autonomous, reasonably resourced DNR to do their jobs to protect us and really to act as trustees for future generations so that they enjoy the Wisconsin we've enjoyed.